Modern Warfare 3's reveal is this upcoming week, and with it, we're likely going to hear a lot about what's upcoming in regards to the campaign, maybe even gameplay-oriented stuff. I'm surprised that last year we learned so much about Modern Warfare 2 when we did. Normally, when the reveal happens, we only usually learn about campaign and such, but at that point, we learned a ton about multiplayer as well. So with the possibility of that looming for Modern Warfare 3 as well, I want to take a last-second chance here to talk about my wish list for things for Modern Warfare 3 upcoming. As we go along, drop your thoughts down below. What do you hope to see in Modern Warfare 3 as we gear up for a new year here? Anything in particular that's a make or break feature, addition, or whatever, let me know down below. But if you enjoyed the video, you found it at all insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. And if you're new to the channel and like to stay up to date with all things Modern Warfare 3 as the floodgates are about to open with a ton of stuff to discuss and learn here about the upcoming title, consider subscribing. I'd love to have you in the community. And finally, check out my friends over at G Fuel, where code Espresso can get you 30% off certain items in the month of August, like hype sauce tubs along with starter kits and more. But more on that a little later. For now, let's jump into what I'm really hoping is in Modern Warfare 3. Firstly, let's start out with some gameplay-oriented stuff. Some of these things will be a brief recap. Some we've mentioned recently in our discussion about gameplay changes to Modern Warfare 3 that are rumored and confirmed, but just to cover all of my bases here, firstly, one of the big things that I'd love to see in no particular order is detailed statistics for weapons and Gunsmith. That's one thing that honestly I thought with Modern Warfare 2, it was a massive missed opportunity. I mean, you build out this system that is meant to be the most in-depth and intricately designed Gunsmith that we've ever seen in Call of Duty, allowing for as much agency as an operator may want and an absolute ton of customization. However, across the dozens, maybe hundreds of attachments through all weapons, there's not any system in place that allows you to fully understand what you're equipping besides the still pretty much arbitrary plus and minus system that we have in regards to, oh, that's a positive and a negative given off by that attachment, but you don't know exactly to what extent that is. I mean, we have like 10 to 20 muzzle attachments that will say that they decrease horizontal and vertical recoil for various different attributes, but there's like 20 of them that do the same thing on paper, but how much they actually vary, nobody really knows unless you just dive in deep and test every single one. But for the casual player, that's not something somebody's gonna do. Vanguard ended up having these detailed statistics along with Black Ops Cold War. I would love to see this kind of stuff here return for Modern Warfare 3, especially if there's any sort of continuation of this Gunsmith as we see now. Based off of some leaks, it seems like the weapon platform system will be returning, so that's something that maybe Gunsmith is as well. But however they take it, I do hope that there are detailed stats for your builds. Next, another thing that I would love to see Sledgehammer bring back here for Modern Warfare 3 is combat pacing. It's not something that really, again, there's a whole ton in Vanguard that I'm like, I love that, but combat pacing was one of those things because you got to pick and choose your playstyle, how aggressive and how crazy you wanted the matches to go, and play on basically all of the same maps. Now, granted, yes, there were some that the larger scale game modes were more so exclusive to those, but you still had them in like the assault fashion as well as blitz. So you had options that you could play larger or smaller numbers of players on the same maps most of the time, and that was something that created chaos or allowed you to step back from it. And I thought that was a great feature for player choice. Love that. The next thing we're gonna breeze by because listen, it's not gonna happen, but like, it would be really cool if it did. A lessening of the skill-based matchmaking. I know that I'm sure everybody here is probably by this point since Modern Warfare 2019 a bit fatigued based off of having to have this retention-based matchmaking system that is very manipulative. It tries to keep you on the game longer, feeding you good games when you're about to get off, feeding you bad games when you're feeling on top of the world. It's just one of those things that I'm tired of that, man. Like, if it can be a selling point for something like X Defiant, I get, listen, you're trying to keep players month over month, but like, just reel it back a little bit. I'm sure a lot of people would appreciate that. But anyways, next up is Specialist Bonus. This is something that I was very surprised we did not see this within Modern Warfare 2. Granted, the architecture of the perk system is something that wouldn't really allow for Specialist Bonus to work fundamentally to a degree, but I mean, it felt wrong not having a Modern Warfare game with Specialist Bonus, or honestly, just an Infinity Ward game with that as of recently. So to not have this in Modern Warfare 3 in a game where it's reiterating what Modern Warfare 3 may have done in the very beginning back in 2011, it would feel wrong, I think, to not include Specialist Bonus within Modern Warfare 3. With a seeming, again, leaked departure from the perk package system, it seems like the fundamental architecture for the systems in place could work alongside this, though we'll see gear, it's not going to be tethered together. So there is that opportunity that we could end up earning additional gear as we go along, or perks in that regard, but we'll have to wait and see. That is one thing, though, that I do hope returns. Though, if I can throw something else on top of that, I do think it'd be pretty cool to end up seeing Assault, Support, and Specialist specialist kill streak packages like we saw back in the original Modern Warfare 3. I think that'd be really cool for player choice again. Then, talking streaks, one thing that I would love to see is, well, wrappable streaks, something that allows you to earn more streaks more than once in a life. If you go on a massive streak, that's something that, yes, I get it is a challenge to end up getting a nuke and capping that off if you've had your advanced UAV active from 11 kills or whenever you earned it in terms of score, but I mean, that's one of those things that I'd love to get another UAV on top of that. I don't necessarily even need to get another advanced UAV, but like just something that whenever I'm at 20, 22, 25 kills or something like that, I have a little bit of awareness, because usually whenever I'm on those kind of streaks, for some reason, my team just never usually is supporting me enough to get their own streaks or even 4 kill streak for a UAV. So like, I'd love to be able to do that all on my own if I'm already carrying the team anyway. Beyond that, one thing that I'd love in terms of just simply gameplay is slightly higher time to kill. Honestly, it's not exactly what I want, but it's the best comparison that we've seen in recent years. But Black Ops Cold War's TTK was a much better solid comparison for where I'd like to see the TTK as opposed to what we've had in Modern Warfare 2019, Vanguard, and Modern Warfare 2. A slower TTK, but it still prioritized a bit more accuracy and allowed for players a bit more time to actually fight back. The thing that I always, personally at least, think of in regards to a good TTK is that if someone's camping in a corner, do they automatically get a kill or not? If yes, I think it's kind of a too fast a TTK, where they can drop you before you even have a chance to turn and engage. I'm not even saying that they need to allow for a gunfight and the TTK to be that high, but if you can't react by the time that you're downed in 2 to 3 bullets at that point, that's a little bit too quick in my opinion. At least give the chance to the player that is moving around, being active with the world. Incentivize gun skill and accuracy, not just camping and waiting out for kills. At least that's the way that I see it. I'd love to see that TTK increased a little bit further. Now, going beyond just gameplay-oriented stuff here to not draw the monotony out on talking about every little detail that I would love to see, let's move on to some more top-level things. Firstly, I would love to see a prestige shop be introduced here for players to earn even more as they go along and progress throughout their career. That's one thing that honestly I thought was one of the best unsung features within Black Ops Cold War, was the ability to earn even just smaller things like calling cards, emblems, and in some cases blueprints. I'd love to see that sort of taken to the next level, offering up things like exclusive blueprints for certain prestiges, camos for certain prestige levels or mastery prestige levels, emblems, calling cards, that kind of stuff. Honestly, I think would be a really cool reward just for simply playing the game and grinding it out and sticking with it. I certainly would go for things if I got awesome universal camo rewards at level 1000 or something like that. I think that'd be really cool, but it is one of those things that with Sledgehammer having done rewards like this in the past, we had the Advanced Warfare Grand Mastery challenges and rewards for that, with the weapon variants that came along with each prestige, with the World War II Mastery Prestige stuff, which that's some stuff I don't think I'm ever going to be able to talk about, but I really wish the original plans for their Mastery Prestige items were enacted. But they've done this kind of stuff in the past, and it is something that is possible we could see this happen in the future, but fingers crossed it actually does happen. Another thing is the continuation of camo rewards and further grindable items not associated necessarily with rank, but instead with what we've seen actually in Modern Warfare 2. Like, listen, I don't do it much, but I do have to give Infinity Ward and Modern Warfare 2 props, because for years I had said that I wanted cool camos to grind out, and so far we've actually seen a decent number of those. We're near up to like 15 event camos or whatever like that, and a few other ones from things like the You Drop This camo from COD Champs, the Nuke Reward camo from Al Mazrah this season. So there's a surprising amount of camos that can be earned that looked really good, I think. Some are duds, absolutely. Like, I'm not a huge fan of the last 2 Easter egg camos in the raids, but there's still a rare camo that you can complete and earn organically, not paying any money into seemingly every other cosmetic being pushed towards bundles. Please keep that up. I know that the sort of fear of missing out or FOMO and limited time earn rate on some of those aren't really appealing to some players, but I do think that it's at least going in the right direction. I think that I would take an event camo and come back to grind that out organically, more so than if you're just like, okay, well, here's another 200 levels on the season. I don't really care about my rank at all whenever there's not really anything that incentivizes me to play beyond just, hey, here's a few new levels to chase. That's something that honestly, I love the way these camos have been introduced and the quantity that we've seen so far. In fact, I'd love to see more, but I'd be totally cool if just this system that we have right now is continued on through Modern Warfare 3. But beyond content, the more top level stuff comes down to 2 final points here. Number 1, actual support for Modern Warfare 3 multiplayer. Modern Warfare 2 and Vanguard neglected multiplayer big time with content. Now, Vanguard's is kind of a bit more understandable because they had to be pulled immediately to go work on Modern Warfare 3. Modern Warfare 2, though, I do not know what Infinity Ward did to not give us any original content. We know that Modern Warfare 3 will have content that is new in way of new weapons, new camos, but the maps, stuff like that, that's stuff that we don't know if it's entirely new. Right now, the rumor has and still is that the core of this game is going to be a remastered set of all Modern Warfare 2 2009 maps. Now, my thing, that's fine to a degree. Get it out of the way. If you're going to do that, do it now. I'm hoping that we get genuinely new maps along with all those, but I mean, if we are going to see a bulk of remasters, and we know that and we can expect it from either Modern Warfare 2 here or Modern Warfare 3, the originals, do it now while we're expecting a large influx of those. I don't know if it's just me, but I would much rather take more remastered maps up front while I'm already expecting a large percentage of the initial offering to be remasters at launch than having this bulk drop at launch and then having a remastered map or two every single season to go beyond that. I think that's one of the things that I truly cannot get over the fact with Modern Warfare 2 is that we are 9 months into the game and we only have 4 original 6v6 maps. Everything else was either cut from Al Mazrah or cut from a map that wasn't even designed by Infinity Ward. Like, think about that. 9 months for Expo, Hatchery, Lighthouse, and Punta Mar. Hatchery, yes, is of course from the campaign. I'm not really counting that as a cut and paste because campaign locations are always used as set pieces for multiplayer. But like, if you didn't play single player, which for a lot of people is just a one and done mode, you wouldn't know about that map. But still, 4 maps in 9 months. 3 if you take that out. Yes, in a few weeks' time from this video, we're going to have a 5th in DRC Zone 1. Kind of, because again, that's from Building 21, but it does look to be a new sector of it. But that's going to be the 10-month mark for 5 new multiplayer maps. 5! 1 every 2-month average. So give us original maps, even if you are making this a air quote love letter to the classics, but please, man, like I just want original content. I get selling nostalgia, but I mean, like at this point, it's tiresome. And then finally, the last thing that I have here is open lines of communication. Sledge has done it in the past and has been open on Twitter, Reddit, their blog, and elsewhere. Keep that up if you can, please. It has been something that this year, when the morale's low, goodwill with the community goes a long way. Hear us out, even if we can't have what we want. Just talk to us. Sure, there will be those that you can never please, but I'd like to think that hopefully most of us are logical enough that if you were giving a reasoning as to why something that we asked for couldn't happen, we'd understand. I'd rather have the understanding as to why some of my probably idiotic ideas wouldn't work, whether it's too niche an idea that wouldn't fit the mold of the overall player base, it doesn't benefit the players as much as I thought, it would be impossible to design, so on and so forth. And I don't mean this in just like my recommendations, but like just using my feedback as an example. If we can have communally just these ideas and these one-on-one back and forth sessions, open lines of communications with a player will go a long, long way. I truly think, again, that goodwill is one of the biggest things that can help win players back. Gameplay will or will not speak for itself. That's something that only time will tell. But isolating a community like what we've seen this past year is just a surefire way to dig the hole even deeper. So keep those lines of communication open and just talk with us, man. Like that's really one of the biggest things that I want from a studio to community level. But anyways, that's my wish list here for Modern Warfare 3 and what I hope to see upcoming within Modern Warfare 3. Whether or not it all happens, some of it happens, we don't know, but that's my thoughts and hopes for this upcoming year. Now, beyond that, that's where we're gonna call it. Before we wrap everything up, make sure you check out my friends over at G Fuel, code Espresso again, getting you 30% off your entire order on certain things like hype sauce tubs, hibiscus tea tubs, and even things like starter kits. So if you guys want to grab a restock or try something out for the very first time, now is as best a time as any with code Espresso, getting you again 30% off certain items in the month of August. But for now, that's what we're going to call it. Let me know your thoughts down below. Anything that you would add to this list, take away from it, whatever the case, drop your thoughts below. But if you enjoy the video, you found it adult insightful, do me a favor and drop a like on it. As well, if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing to stay up to date with all things Modern Warfare 3 as we gear up for the reveal here upcoming this week. And of course, everything to follow. There's going to be a lot of stuff to talk about. So make sure you hit the subscribe button if you guys are new. I'd love to have you in the community, but for now, thanks so much for watching. My name has been Espresso. I'll see you later. Take care and peace.